real happy?
Yes.
Do you want to be on TV?
Yes.
Do you want to come back to Cayman?
Yes.
1 in every 1,000 children is born with autism. 1 in every 150 has an autism spectrum disorder. Some of those children live in the Cayman Islands.
It's hard to say how many children in the Cayman Islands are diagnosed with autism. We know of at least a dozen to 20 children, but there may be more than that who perhaps haven't been diagnosed yet, or they might have been diagnosed off island and the parents haven't chosen to share that information.
These are people who are unique and don't quite fit in. They're not as verbal and they're not as social. They don't make eye contact, they don't have conversations, and they can be wonderful in hundreds of different ways.
One way Seth is wonderful is his artistic ability.
Seth did not discover art until he was 20. And we tried everything and there was nothing that really clicked. And then when Seth was 18, he had a formal evaluation recommending a career in dry mopping. So I just ignored that, kept going, and at 20 I sent him for an art class at the Cleveland Museum of Art, and he did exceedingly well, and then we knew that there was a new world starting.
With the new world came a new schedule. Every day from 10 in the morning to 9:30 at night, Seth picks up paintbrushes and takes a trip in his imagination. His journey led to the completion of 269 works of art, some of which are on display at the National Gallery.
Seth and his mum actually just walked into the gallery one day last year, basically to see the show that we had on. We started talking to Deborah and Seth about the sort of work that he does and how important art had been in his life. So one thing led to another, and it's sort of a dual reason that we have this show here. It's to educate about Seth's work and his life with autism, and to show these amazing odds that he's sort of overcome in being able to create this bridge of communication to the audience, and the sort of the ways that it's actually transformed his life. So that on the one side, and then the other side, the artwork is just so joyful. As you can see, it's a wonderful reflection of the Caymanian landscape, sort of filtered through a very, very different mind.
Our island's marine and wildlife inspired Seth's collection entitled Icons of Cayman.
Seth seems to like things that live underwater or spend part of their time in water. He loves turtles, octopus, fish. Seth gets very excited about travel. So when he knew he was coming to Cayman, he just wanted to do icons of Cayman. Anything that had to do with Cayman, that's what he wanted to paint.
Seth's art and his autism are topics taught in classrooms across Cayman.
Personally, I found it to be a very amazing experience, just knowing that, having taught children with autism, and knowing that, like, for example, I had a student that he was autistic, but when it came to art, he was amazing. Having seen a child in the same situation that is autistic and went, took a class and become this amazing artist, and seeing his work, it's very motivating as a teacher to know that you can encourage your children, your students in other areas other than just the academics.
I think they got a lot out of his art. They loved the bright colours and the naturalness of the paintings, because they could relate to all the animals in the pictures, and they could see all the bright colours, and I think they did get a lot out of the art from there, because they could actually see, they've seen turtles, so they could then go and draw a turtle themselves. They've seen a stingray, they can then go and draw a stingray themselves and use the same sorts of colours that he used.
Art can be the thing that unlocks their creativity, whether that feeds back into more academic work or just entirely creative work. So it's really vital that children in Cayman all have access to first-hand pieces of art, not just seeing artwork in books. So the gallery is an amazing resource, as the museum is, as the Cultural Foundation and the National Trust, and it's just making sure that those links are established and continued with all of the different schools, public and private.
I think that Seth can be an inspiration for all special needs people, because until he was 18, there was no sign of any gift at all. And long after the school, everybody had given up hope, we had a team of people who believed in Seth and believed he would do something wonderful. So I think he could be an inspiration for anybody in the world, special needs or not, who gets to 18, 20, 25 and thinks, will I ever write a book? Will I ever paint a picture? Will I ever go on the trip of my dreams? When nobody thought anything would happen, at 20, Seth's life just began.